सुखस्वरूपाय स्वामिने तामहारिणे सरस्वती नृत्य तो वाचिने सदा। ಭಾರತದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಬದಲಾವಣೆಯನ್ನು ತರಬೇಕು, ನಾನು ನೀವು ಪ್ರೀತಿಸುವಂತಹ ದೇಶದ ಚಿತ್ರಣವನ್ನ ಬದಲಾಯಿಸಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಕಾಳಜಿಯಿಂದ, ಪ್ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ, ಕಾತುರದಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೆರೆದಿರುವಂತಹ ಎಲ್ಲ ಭಾರತ ಪ್ರೇಮಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಪ್ರಥಮವಾಗಿ ವಂದಿಸಿ, ಇವತ್ತು ನಾವು ಸೇರಿರುವಂತಹ ಈ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಮುಂದೆ ನಮ್ಮೆದುರುಗಡೆ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಚಾಲೆಂಜಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಹೌ ಡು ವಿ ಓವರ್ಕಮ್ ದೀಸ್ ಚಾಲೆಂಜಸ್ ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ಫುಲಿ, ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ವಿಷಯಗಳ ಮೇಲೆ ಪಿ.ಪಿ. ಹೆಗಡೆ ಅವರಾಗಲೇ ಮಾತನಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವ್ರಿಗಿಂತ ಮತ್ತೊಬ್ಬ ಕಿರಿಯನಾಗಿ, ಮತ್ತಷ್ಟು ಯುವಕನಾಗಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆಗೊಬ್ಬನಾಗಿ ಮಾತಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇಚ್ಛೆ ಪಡ್ತೇನೆ. ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ, ಇದೇ ವರ್ಷದ ಜನವರಿ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ದೆಹಲಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನೊಂದು ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಮೂಟ್ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಕಾಂಪಿಟಿಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸಿದ್ದೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಮೂಟ್ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಕಾಂಪಿಟಿಷನ್ ನ ಪ್ರಥಮವಾಗಿ ಇದ್ದಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಇನಾಗ್ರಲ್ ಸೆಷನ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾರ್ಜ್ ವಾಷಿಂಗ್ಟನ್ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿ, ಲಾ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿಯ ಒಬ್ರು ಡೀನ್ ನಮಗೊಂದು ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ಲೆಕ್ಚರ್ ಆನ್ ಅಡ್ವೊಕೇಸಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದರು. ಅವ್ರು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಂತ ಇಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಸೆಷನ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಒಬ್ರು ಅವ್ರು ಕೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಂತಹ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗೆ ಜನರಲ್ಲಿ ಎದ್ದು ಒಂದು ಸರಿಯಾದಂತಹ ಉತ್ತರ ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಅವರು ಒಂದು ಗುಡಿ ಬ್ಯಾಗ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಸೊ ಮೊದಲನೇದಾಗಿ ಒಬ್ಬ ಹುಡುಗ ಎದ್ದು ಅವ್ರು ಕೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಂತಹ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗೆ ಒಂದು ಗುಡಿ ಬ್ಯಾಗ್ ಅನ್ನ ಇಸ್ಕೊಂಡ. ಅವ್ರ ಬ್ಯಾಗ್ ಇಂದ ಒಂದು ಸೆರಾಮಿಕ್ ಕಪ್ ಅನ್ನ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ತೆಗೆದ್ರು, ಒಂದು ಪೆನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ತೆಗೆದ್ರು. ಆ ಗುಡಿ ಬ್ಯಾಗ್ ಅನ್ನ ಹುಡುಗನಿಗೆ ಕೊಡೋದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ ಅವರ ಬ್ಯಾಗ್ ಅನ್ನ ತೆಗೆದು ಆ ಒಂದು ಸೆರಾಮಿಕ್ ಕಪ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಆ ಪೆನ್ ನ ಎದುರುಗಡೆ ಹಿಡಿದು ಒಂದು ಮಾತು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಇದ್ರ ಮೇಲಿರುವಂತಹ ಚಿತ್ರ, ಇದ್ರ ಮೇಲಿರುವಂತಹ ಸೀಲ್, ಈ ಪೆನ್ ಮೇಲಿರುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಎಂಬ್ಲಮ್, ಇದು ಬರಾಕ್ ಒಬಾಮಾ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಇದ್ದಂತಹ ಕ್ಯಾಂಪೇನ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಬಳಸಿದಂಥದ್ದು. ಐ ಆಮ್ ಪ್ರೌಡ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಎನ್ ಅಮೆರಿಕನ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅ ಲೀಡರ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಬರಾಕ್ ಒಬಾಮಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಆ ಒಂದು ಗುಡಿ ಬ್ಯಾಗ್ ಅನ್ನ ಆ ಒಬ್ಬ ಹುಡುಗನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟರು. ಅದನ್ನ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ನೋಡ್ತಿದ್ದಿದ್ದು ನನಗೆ ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ ಯೋಚನೆ ಆಯಿತು. ನಾನು ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರೂ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ದೇಶಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರೂ ಒಬ್ಬ ರಾಜಕಾರಣಿಯ ಹೆಸರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ತರ ನನಗೆ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾನು ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು ಗುಡಿ ಬ್ಯಾಗ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕಿದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇದೆಯಾ ಅಂತ ಮನಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದು ಒಬ್ಬ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯ ಹೆಸರು. ಅವತ್ತು ನಿಶ್ಚಯ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ, 2014 ಇಸ್ವಿಯ ನಂತರ ನಾನು ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರೂ ವಿದೇಶ ಪ್ರವಾಸಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ನಾನ್ ಗುಡಿ ಬ್ಯಾಗ್ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರುವಂತಹ ಸ್ಟಿಕ್ಕರ್ ಏನಿದೆ, ನೀವು ಮಾಡಿರುವಂತಹ ಟಿ ಶರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ, ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತಿರುವಂತಹ ನಮೋ ಬ್ಯಾಡ್ಜಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಕಾರಣ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ, for the first time in the post-independence history of India, we have produced one leader whom we can call with pride as one who can represent India at the international fora. One who is Indian by heart, Indian by everything. ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಎದುರುಗಡೆ ಇರುವಂತಹ 2014 ಇಸ್ವಿಯ ಚುನಾವಣೆ ಏನಿದೆ, ಪಿ.ಪಿ. ಹೆಗಡೆ ಅವರಾಗಲೇ ಮಾತನಾಡ್ತಾ ತಿಳಿಸಿದ್ರು, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ವೆರಿ ಬಿಗ್ ಚಾಲೆಂಜ್. ಈ ರೂಮ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವಿರೋರೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿ ಭಾರತೀಯ ಜನತಾ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಯ ಸಿಂಪಥೈಸರ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿ ನರೇಂದ್ರ ಮೋದಿ ಅಭಿಮಾನಿಗಳಿದೆ. ಬಟ್ ದ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಇಸ್ ವೈಡ್. ಈ ರೂಮ್ ನಿಂದ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಪಂಚದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾಟ್ ಎವ್ರಿಬಡಿ ಇಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಸಿಂಪಥೆಟಿಕ್ ಟು ಅವರ್ ಕಾಸ್. ಅಂಡ್ ತಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಡೆಮೋಕ್ರಸಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆಯೋದು ಇಸ್ ದ ವಿಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಮೆಜಾರಿಟಿ, ಅಂಡ್ ದ ಸೀಕ್ರೆಟ್ ಲೈಸ್ ಇನ್ ದಿ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸ್ಡ್ ಮೆಜಾರಿಟಿ. So the challenge before you and I is to go out and tell people as to why the country needs Narendra Modi in 2014. It's the task of convincing people. The task of going out and telling everybody that the time has come for India to ask for more, the time has come for India to deserve better is now and now. How do we go about this? Snehitra, Narendra Modi is an enigma. ಒಬ್ಬ ನಾಯಕನಿಗೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರುವಂತಹ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಗುಣ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ದಿ ಪವರ್ ಟು ಇನ್ಸ್ಪೈರ್, ದ ಪವರ್ ಟು ಇಗ್ನೈಟ್ ಡ್ರೀಮ್ಸ್. ನಮೋ ಬ್ರಿಗೇಡ್ ಅನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಿಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತಹ ವಾಲಂಟಿಯರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ನರೇಂದ್ರ ಮೋದಿ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಯಾವತ್ತೂ ಹೇಳಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ನರೇಂದ್ರ ಮೋದಿ ಡಿಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ಎನಿ ರಿಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ, ಇಫ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ವೆರಿ ಶೋರ್. ಬಟ್ ವೈ ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ that across the country, not just in Bangalore, in other parts of the country as well, youngsters have grouped together to form something called as the Narendra Modi Army, something called as the Namo Brigade, and things like this are going on. This was the power of Narendra Modi to inspire. The power of Narendra Modi's sheer personality, the power of his character. What we need to do today is to take out this strength of Narendra Modi to the streets. Convert all those millions of likes that we have on Facebook into real and tangible votes. Take the war from Twitter chats and from the TV studios to houses and the streets where people will decide for themselves. That is the challenge you and I have to face. I have always wondered, ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ, ನರೇಂದ್ರ ಮೋದಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಯುವಕರಿಗೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟ? Why is it that ನರೇಂದ್ರ ಮೋದಿ ಹೆಸರು ಕೇಳಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣನೇ ಶ್ರೀರಾಮ್ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ನಾನು ಹೋಗ್ತಿರೋ ಹಂಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಕಡೆ ಭಾಷಣ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಿರುವಂತಹ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ, ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನರೇಂದ್ರ ಮೋದಿಯ ಹೆಸರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ನಾನಂತೂ ಒಂದು ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಸ್ಪೀಕರ್ ಆಗಿ ಕಲ್ತಿರುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲಾದ್ರೂ ನನಗೆ ಚಪ್ಪಾಳೆ ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾದಾಗ ನರೇಂದ್ರ ಮೋದಿಯ ಹೆಸರನ್ನು ತರ್ತೀನಿ, ಜನ ಚಪ್ಪಾಳೆ. This power in it. Why is it that young people are mad about Narendra Modi? One, Narendra Modi understands the aspirations and needs of young Indians today. He understands that what young India wants is to see a strong, integrated, united India. An India that is not divided by politicians for their vested interests, but an India where every young man and woman can dream of a strong and vibrant future for it. This is the aspiration that Narendra Modi has understood. More importantly, the reason why you and I connect with Modi so easily is because Narendra Modi got nothing easy in his life. Nobody came and served anything to Narendra Modi on a golden platter like many of our dynasty politicians in this country have got. Narendra Modi had to fight for every single day. Perhaps there is no other politician in the history of independent India who has been as condemned, as belied, and as attacked by the media, by various other forces of institutions in the country as Narendra Modi has done.
Even today.
ಪ್ರತಿನಿತ್ಯ ನರೇಂದ್ರ ಮೋದಿಗೆ ಅಗ್ನಿ ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆಯನ್ನೇ ಒಡ್ಡಲಾಯಿತು. ಪ್ರತಿದಿನ ನರೇಂದ್ರ ಮೋದಿ ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅಗ್ನಿ ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆಗಳನ್ನ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾಸ್ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಡಿಸ್ಟಿಂಕ್ಷನ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಗೋಲ್ಡ್ ಮೆಡಲ್ ತಗೊಂಡಂತಹ ರಾಜಕಾರಣಿ. ನರೇಂದ್ರ ಮೋದಿ ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಜೀವನ ಕಥೆಯನ್ನು ಓದ್ತಾ ಇರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ತಿಳಿದಿತ್ತು. The 1-room, 2-room house that Narendra Modi was born and raised in. ಆ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನರೇಂದ್ರ ಮೋದಿಗೆ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಸಿಟಿ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ದೀಪ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳಕಿಗೆ ಸೀಮೆ ಎಣ್ಣೆಯ ದೀಪವನ್ನು ಹಾಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಕೆರಸಿನ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಪ್ಸ್. ಇಡೀ ಮನೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಕೆರಸಿನ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಪ್ ಅನ್ನು ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸಿದಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಕಾರಣದಿಂದ ಹೊಗೆ ಇತ್ತು. ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗ್ತಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ದಿಸ್ ವಾಸ್ ದ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ನರೇಂದ್ರ ಮೋದಿ ಸರ್. 30, 40 years, 50 years from then, this man ensured that every single village in Gujarat is electrified. 60 years later, this man ensured that no student will sleep without studying for a school or college because there was no power and electricity in this country, in his village, in his state. ಜನರ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಯ ಮಧ್ಯ ಇದ್ರೆ, ಜನರು ಪಡುವಂತಹ ಕಷ್ಟದ ಮಧ್ಯ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಹುಡುಕ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಹುಡ್ತಾನೆ ಗೋಲ್ಡನ್ ಸ್ಪೂನ್ ನ ಬಾಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹುಟ್ಟಿರೋರಿಗೆ ಏನ್ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. And there was one more reason I came across. Narendra Modi is a politician who preaches what he practices and who means what he talks. ನಮ್ಮ ಕಳೆದ ಒಂದು 60 ವರ್ಷದ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ನಂತರ ಭಾರತವನ್ನು ನಾವು ವೀಕ್ಷಣೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಎದುರುಗಡೆ ಕಾಣೋದು ಪಾಲಿಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಿಂಬಾಲಿಸಮ್, ಪಾಲಿಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಿಯರ್ ಟೋಕನಿಸಮ್. ನರೇಂದ್ರ ಮೋದಿ ನನ್ನಂಥ ನಿಮ್ಮಂಥ ಯುವಕರಿಗೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಹತ್ರ ಆಗೋದು, ಇಷ್ಟ ಆಗೋದು ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನರೇಂದ್ರ ಮೋದಿ ನೆವರ್ ಇಂಡಲ್ಜ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ಮಿಯರ್ ಸಿಂಬಾಲಿಕ್ ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ. ನರೇಂದ್ರ ಮೋದಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇನು? ನರೇಂದ್ರ ಮೋದಿ ಯಾವತ್ತು ದಲಿತರ ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ತಿಂಡಿ ತಿನ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ನರೇಂದ್ರ ಮೋದಿ ಎನ್ಶೋರ್ಡ್ ದಟ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ದಲಿತ್ ಹೌಸ್ ವಾಸ್ ಲಿಟ್ ವಿತ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಸಿಟಿ. Narendra Modi ensured that every Dalit boy would get an employment. Every Dalit woman, every Dalit girl was safe and secure in his state. This was the politics of Narendra Modi, which meant real change and real development. That is why Narendra Modi strikes to us as somebody who is destined to take this country forward. ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ, ಒಂದು ಬಾರಿ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಭಾರತದ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿಯನ್ನು ನಮ್ಮ ಎದುರುಗಡೆ ನಾವು ಅವಲೋಕನ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ನರೇಂದ್ರ ಮೋದಿ ನಮಗೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಬೇಕು 2014ನೇ ಇಸ್ವಿಗೆ? ಕೇವಲ ನೆಸೆಸಿಟಿ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಇನ್ನೆವಿಟಬಿಲಿಟಿ ನರೇಂದ್ರ ಮೋದಿ ಅಂತ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. 65 ವರ್ಷ ಆಗಿದೆ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ ಭಾರತಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ಬಂದು. 65 ವರ್ಷಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇವತ್ತಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಭಾರತದ 40ಕ್ಕೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚು % ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಸರಿಯಾದಂತಹ ಸ್ಯಾನಿಟೇಷನ್ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆಗಳಿಲ್ಲ. ಇತ್ತೀಚೆಗೆ ಯಾವುದೋ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳ ಪ್ರಯುಕ್ತ ಉತ್ತರ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಗಳನ್ನ, ಹೈದರಾಬಾದ್ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಗಳನ್ನ ಪ್ರವಾಸ ಮಾಡುವಂತಹ ಅವಕಾಶ ಸಿಕ್ತು. ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಬೀನ್ ಅ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಬ್ಯಾಸ್ಟಿಯನ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್, ಎಲೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಮಲ್ಲಿಕಾರ್ಜುನ್ ಖರ್ಗೆ, ಧರಮ್ ಸಿಂಗ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಅದರ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಡಿಕೇಡ್ಸ್. ಇವತ್ತಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಒಂದು ಹಳ್ಳಿಯಿಂದ ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಹಳ್ಳಿಗೆ ಜನ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸರಿಯಾದಂತಹ ರಸ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಹಳ್ಳಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರೂ ತಾಯಿಗೆ ಹೆರಿಗೆ ನೋವು ಬಂತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಮೆಟರ್ನಿಟಿ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಹತ್ತಿರದ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಹೆಲ್ತ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ 2 ರಿಂದ 3 ತಾಸು ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇದೆ. ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ಗಳು ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ಗಳಿತ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಸರಿಯಾದಂತಹ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಟೇಬಲ್ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಇದೆರಡೂ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಟೀಚರ್ಗಳೇ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಟೀಚರ್ಗಳು ಇದ್ದು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳೇ ಹೋಗಿ ಓದೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇತ್ತೀಚೆಗೆ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಮುಚ್ಚಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಓಡಾಡ್ತಿತ್ತು. 65 ವರ್ಷಗಳ ಭಾರತವನ್ನು ನೀವು ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಕಮ್ ಅಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಇಸ್ millions of people still below the poverty line. Millions of people who go to bed without 2 square meals a day, even to this day. A country as small as Maldives, even 65 years after independence, raises its eyebrow against us, and our national leadership sits meekly. 2004 ರಿಂದ 2012 ತನಕ ಇಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆದಿರುವಂತಹ ನಕ್ಸಲ್ರಿಂದಾಗಿರುವಂತಹ ಸಾವುಗಳು, ಇಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷದ ಭಾರತದ ಯಾವುದೇ ಯುದ್ಧಗಳಲ್ಲೂ ಸತ್ತಿಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರುವಷ್ಟು ಜನ ನಕ್ಸಲ್ ವೈರಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಸತ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Kashmir wants to go separate. A small part in Kashmir, the secessionist voice is becoming stronger by the day. Terror activities have become a ritual in this country. ಪ್ರತಿ ವರ್ಷ ನಾವು ದೀಪಾವಳಿ, ಯುಗಾದಿ ಹೇಗೆ ಸೆಲೆಬ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವೋ, ಪ್ರತಿ ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೂ ಒಂದೆಲ್ಲಾರು ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಟೆರರಿಸ್ಟ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಆಗಲೇಬೇಕು. ದಿಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ ದ ನಾರ್ಮ್, ನಾಟ್ ದಿ ಎಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಷನ್. ಇವತ್ತು 65 ವರ್ಷಗಳಾದ್ಮೇಲೂ ಕೂಡ ನಮಗೆ ಏಸರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಒಂದು ಸರ್ವೆ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ, ಭಾರತದ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಓದ್ತಿರುವಂತಹ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ 5ನೇ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತಹ ಮಗುಗೆ 2ನೇ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿನ 2 ಡಿಜಿಟ್ನ ಸಬ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. 5ನೇ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತಹ ಒಬ್ಬ ಮಗುಗೆ ಒಂದು ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಪ್ಯಾಸೇಜ್ 2ನೇ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕಾದಂತ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಪ್ಯಾಸೇಜ್ 5ನೇ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ನ ಮಗುಗೆ ಓದಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ. ನಾನು ನೀವು ಯಂಗ್ಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿರುವಂತಹ ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಇದೆ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ. ದ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಸಿಟಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ರೂಮ್, ಯು ಅಂಡ್ ಐ ಆರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮ್ಲಿ ಫಾರ್ಚುನೇಟ್. The reason is because of the very fact that you people are able to comprehend my speech in the English language. Because only 12% of people who join school end up as graduates in this country. ನನ್ನ ಜೊತೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆಗೆ 1ನೇ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ಗೆ ಸೇರುವಂತಹ ಒಬ್ಬ ಮಗು ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಕಾಲೇಜಿಗೆ ಸೇರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಕೇವಲ 12% ಜನ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. A pathetically low higher education percentage in this country. Education has become a mafia. You and I should think about it as young people. ಮೆಡಿಕಲ್ ಸೀಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ತಗೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮೊನ್ನೆ ಸಿಇಟಿ ಹೋಗಿ ನಿಂತಿದ್ದಂತ ಹುಡುಗರನ್ನ ಅಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಂತ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿಗಳ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಯನ್ನು ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅವರ ಪರದಾಟ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. Post graduate medical seats are sold in black market for 1 crore, 2 crores. Why? The government in 65 years after independence has not provided enough medical colleges in this country. ಇತ್ತೀಚೆಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಜಯನಗರದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಇದ್ದಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸ್ಟನ್ ರಿವ್ಯೂ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ GRE ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ಗೆ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಕೊಡುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಸೆಂಟರ್ ಹೋಗಿದೆ. ಐ ಆಮ್ ಶೋರ್ ಗಿವನ್ ದಟ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಯು ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಆಡಿಟೋರಿಯಂ are engineers or studying in engineering. Every engineering graduate wants to pursue his masters the moment he graduates out of his college. The sad state of affairs is that if at all he wants to have a degree next to his name which is worth any recognition at international levels, it is a sad state of affairs that he has to pay an enormous amount of money to travel abroad. ನನ್ನ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರು, ನನ್ನ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಓದಂತ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರುಗಳೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಆಗಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣನೇ ಮಾಡಿದ ಮೊದಲನೇ ಕೆಲಸ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ GRE ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಬರೆದಿದ್ದು, ವೀಸಾ ಪರದಾಡಿದ್ದು, ಮನೆ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿ ಮಾಡಿಟ್ಟಂತ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ಇತ್ತು ಅದನ್ನ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಒತ್ತೆ ಇಟ್ಟು ಸಾಲ ತಗೊಂಡು ಬೇರೆ ದೇಶಕ್ಕೆ 65 ವರ್ಷ ಆದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಪ್ರಪಂಚ ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ರೆಕಗ್ನೈಸ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿಯನ್ನ, ಡಿಗ್ರಿಯನ್ನ ನಾವು ನೋಡಿಲ್ವಲ್ಲ. ಇವತ್ತು 2014 ಎಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ನಮಗೆ ಏನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಸರ್ಕಾರ? 67% of the country's population, the government of India promises will be provided, free grains, food security bill. Yours and my job, my dear friends, as strong, enlightened political activists, is to go out and convince people that the very fact that 67% of the population needs a food security bill shows the weakness of the ruling regime for 65 years. ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ, ಭಾರತ ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಮತ್ತು ಭಾರತ ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸರ್ಡ್ ಎಕನಾಮಿಸ್ಟ್ ಮತ್ತು ಥಿಂಕರ್ಸ್ ಭಾರತ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಕೊಡ್ತಿರುವಂತಹ ಈ ನರೇಗಾ ಸ್ಕೀಮ್ ಏನಿದೆ, ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಗ್ಯಾರಂಟಿ ಸ್ಕೀಮ್ ಏನಿದೆ, ಈ ಫುಡ್ ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರಿಟಿ ಬಿಲ್ ಏನಿದೆ, ಇದ್ರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಒಂದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ಫುಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ನರೇಗಾ ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ಫುಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಯಿತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ತೋರಿಸೋದೇನು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಗೇನ್ಫುಲ್ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನ ತಗೊಳ್ಳುವಂತ ತಾಕತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರನೇ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಕೊಡ್ತಿರುವಂತ ದಿನಕ್ಕೆ 100 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಕೂಲಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿರುವಂತ ಕೂಲಿ ಕಾರ್ಮಿಕರನ್ನು ಸಿದ್ಧ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ನರೇಗಾ ಪ್ರೂವ್ಸ್. ಫುಡ್ ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರಿಟಿ ಬಿಲ್ 67% ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ, ಇಟ್ ಪ್ರೂವ್ಸ್ ದಟ್ 67% ಆಫ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ 65 years of independence still do not have 2 square meals a day. This is sheer incompetence. And this is why we want to change it. ಹಾಗೆ PP ಹೆಗಡೆ ಅವರು ಮಾತನಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ತಿಳಿಸು, ಇಂಡಿಯಾನ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಡ್ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಸೂಪರ್ ಪವರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ನನಗೂ ನೆನಪಿದೆ, ನಿಮಗೂ ನೆನಪಿದೆ. ನಾನು ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಸ್ಟಡೀಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ 2nd standard 3rd standard ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಐ ವಾಸ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿಂಗ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್ ವಿಚ್ ಸೇಡ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಡೆವಲಪಿಂಗ್ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ. My sister who is in 2nd standard is still reading the same textbook which is saying India is a developing country. If we leave this trend to continue for another 20 to 25 years, our posterity will also be reading the same book which will teach us that we are a developing country and not yet developed. Arey bhai suno, India's young people are fed up of this. Enough is enough. We cannot wait anymore. We want things now. We want things urgently. That is why we want Narendra Modi. ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ, ನಾನು ಇತ್ತೀಚೆಗೆ ಜವಾಹರ್ಲಾಲ್ ನೆಹರು ಅವರ the very first speech that he gave on the 14th of August, a historic speech, no doubt about it. Many a times most of our right-wing fraternity people condemn the policies of Nehru, speeches of Nehru, the views of Nehru blindfoldedly. I agree that a lot of policies that Nehru did had disastrous effect on the country, but still Nehru was a thinker. Right or wrong is a different question. Most of our politicians today, the sad state of affair is that they are not even thinkers. We should give it to Nehru that he was a thinker. On the 14th of August, when Jawaharlal Nehru made his Tryst with Destiny speech, he said that the aim of India's new government is to remove the shackles of poverty that the country's large masses of people suffering in. So Nehru in 1947 said that the aim of the government is to remove poverty. Indira Gandhi in 1970 said Garibi Hatao is the problem, is the intention of this country. Rajiv Gandhi 15 years later said that the most priority project of ours is to remove poverty. Sonia Gandhi is saying today that the biggest aim of her government is to remove poverty. But when will they remove poverty is our question. I will tell you why they won't remove poverty. Because until there is poverty in this country, until there is illiteracy in this country, Congress party will grow. I always keep wondering, my friends, because I have never met somebody who is really educated and who supports the Congress party. But again, I don't understand why is it that I have never come across in my everyday interaction one educated person who supports the Congress party, yet repeatedly Congress party comes to power. Then I realized, you have poverty, Congress party will perpetuate. You have illiteracy, Congress party will perpetuate. You have unemployment, Congress party will perpetuate. Narendra Modi understood this. Congress party wanted to make equality in poverty. Narendra Modi said, I will make equality in prosperity. That is why I tell you why young people like Narendra Modi. Because Narendra Modi understands that the young of India today want policies of empowerment. Not policies of doles, not policies of subsidies. We want a new economic model, a new, fresh, innovative thinking to approaches and problems, and that is why Narendra Modi stands apart as the one leader who is not necessary for India, but is inevitable for India in 2014. Friends, a few things about Gujarat will definitely enlighten us as to why Narendra Modi is so special for all of us. Because outside this room, people are not going to believe in mere rhetoric and polemic. What people ask for is hard facts. We need to go and tell them that in the last decade or so, Gujarat has tremendously progressed in all sectors of development. When there are other governments in the country, more so I am saddened by the very fact that the new Congress government in my state is thinking of issuing new bar licenses instead of licenses to open new colleges and schools. Narendra Modi's Gujarat stands as an exception. Narendra Modi understood that what this country needs is not only islands of higher educational excellence, but also large-scale institutions which will help in skill development of people. ನಾನು ಕಾಲೇಜ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತನಾಡಿಕೆ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಯುವಕರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಹೋದಾಗ ನನಗೆ ತಿಳಿಯುವಂಥದ್ದು ತುಂಬಾ ಗಾಬರಿ ಉಂಟು ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು ವಿಚಾರ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಎದುರುಗಡೆ ಆಡಿಟೋರಿಯಂನಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾವಿರಾರು ಜನ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ಕೂತಿದ್ದಾಗ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಉದ್ದೇಶಿಸಿ ಮಾತನಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನನಗೆ ಕಾಡುವಂಥ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ, ಇನ್ನು 10 ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಇದೆ, where do we get employment? Where do we get food? Where do we get resources? ಹೈಯರ್ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಅನ್ನ IIMs ಅಲ್ಲಿ IITs ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಓದಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗೋದು ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಪರ್ಸೆಂಟ್ ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾತ್ರ. ನಮ್ಮ ಸರ್ಕಾರ, ಈಗಿರುವಂತಹ ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಸರ್ಕಾರ, ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿಗಳನ್ನ IIM IITಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾತ್ರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಸ್ಥಾಪನೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. This is not a holistic approach to the education problem. ನರೇಂದ್ರ ಮೋದಿ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್. ನರೇಂದ್ರ ಮೋದಿ ಗುಜರಾತ್ನಲ್ಲಿ IIT ಅನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡು ಬಂದ್ರು, ITI ಕೂಡ ತಗೊಂಡು ಬಂದ್ರು. ಹೈಯರ್ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಮರ್ಥ್ಯ ಇರೋರಿಗೆ IIT ಹೋಗಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ IIT ಒಂದು ಕನಸನ್ನ ಕಟ್ಟರು. ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿ ತನ್ನ ಕಾಲ ಮೇಲೆ ತಾನು ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಶಕ್ತಿಯನ್ನ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತವ್ರಿಗೆ ITIಗಳನ್ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟರು. On one hand you had higher educational excellence, on the other hand you also had ITIs. So Narendra Modi understands what the people need. And isn't it incumbent on the people in a democracy to elect a leader who does what they want instead of a leader who does what he wants? That is the duty that you and I have of going and convincing people. 2014 ಎಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ. ಫುಡ್ ಸಬ್ಸಿಡಿ ಬಿಲ್ ಅನ್ನು ಆಗಸ್ಟ್ 20ನೇ ತಾರೀಕು ರಾಜೀವ್ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಅವರ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ಅದನ್ನು ರೋಲ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಿರ್ಧಾರ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನನಗೆ ಕೆಲವು ಸತಿ ಬೇಜಾರಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಗೆ ಎಂಥ ಬೌದ್ಧಿಕ ದಾರಿದ್ರ್ಯ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ರಾಜೀವ್ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಈ ಒಂದು 2-3 ಜನ ದಿವಸಗಳು ಹೆಸರನ್ನ ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರ ಹೆಸರು ಸಿಗ್ತಿಲ್ವಲ್ಲ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಅವ್ರ ಸ್ಕೀಮ್ಗಳನ್ನ ತಗೊಂಡು ಬರೋದಿಕ್ಕೆ. So on 20th August, the food security bill will be rolled out. ನನಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದ ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಿ ನಾವು ತಿಳಿಸಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ, ನಿಮಗೆ if a man gives you a fish for a day, he quenches your hunger for a day. But if somebody teaches you how to fish, they will feed you for life. ಈ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ನಾವು ಕಳಿಸಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. This is the challenge before you and I as political activists. Because politics is about convincing people. It is about telling people and reposing the faith in what you claim can deliver a better model of governance. Snehitare, Narendra Modi also represents another idea. The idea that from the past 65 years has crippled the cultural independence and intellectual independence of India. An idea that he is against, because this idea ensured that you and I cannot stand up and say with pride that we belong to a civilization which is 5,000 years old. An idea which said that if you claim your ancestral heritage to anything that was originated in India, you will be branded as communal. An idea which gained sheer force because of the support of the governmental institutions. Narendra Modi is challenging this idea of pseudo-secularism, the idea of using secularism as a shield for opportunistic politics. Friends, I was discussing with one of my friends from the US about how voting actually happens in their, the House of Commons, the Senate and everything. She was telling me that in case a particular party is in favor of a particular policy, they have no qualms about accepting it and going out and voting for that particular policy. I said, look at my country. There is a political party which does not like a particular policy. So you will naturally expect that when the voting comes in the House, that this political party will go and vote against that policy. But here in my country, the exact opposite happens. The party says, no, we are against FDI. But the FDI bill is tabled in Parliament. Mayawati and her gang go into Parliament and vote for it. And some of the media people ask Mayawati as to, Behenji, you said you are against FDI, but why did your party vote for it?
CPI, yes, yes.
Many parties. Then Behenji replies, to keep communal forces at bay. No political analyst, no apologist can ever understand this link between opposing the voting for the FTI, which they initially opposed, and voting for it because of keeping communal politics at bay. The marvel, the eighth wonder of Indian politics is this. Narendra Modi is posing a serious challenge to these people because Narendra Modi's ascendance in Indian national political scenario, in national political landscape, at the same time will ensure that these Mayavatis, Mulayams and Lalu Prasads of Indian politics will go far away from the Indian politics. Why is it that we need one man like Narendra Modi to be the top person in this country, to be the Prime Minister in this country? I was just thinking of this. When I was studying in my pre-university college, I had a very efficient and capable principal who was heading the institution. Starting from the principal, the head of the departments, the dean, to the peons in the college, to the students, each one of us behaved exemplarily in the first year of college. Whether I like it or not, I had to attend college. Attendance was very strict. The second year of college, the principal was changed, the head of the institution was changed. The head of the departments went loose. The peons never did their work properly. Students never attended classes properly. Why? The head of an organization, the head of an institution is what matters. Like one principal can change the functioning of a school or college, like how one Vinod Rai could bring Sheen to the law Sheen to CAG back, like how Justice S.H. Kapadia could make the entire structure of a court, starting from the Supreme Court to the lowest of the courts, work in harmony and deliver speedy justice. Like how one APJ Abdul Kalam could bring respect to the institution of the President of India. Narendra Modi as Prime Minister can bring back pride not only for the Prime Minister's post, but for the pride of India back. That is why Narendra Modi is here. Friends, the other very important issue that I want to talk to you. Narendra Modi, what I have heard from people who were closely associated with him. I was also fortunate to accompany Lal Krishna Advani ji on his Jan Chetna Yatra for 40 days. And I'll tell you that leg of the Yatra which went in Gujarat was something unique and different than what happened anywhere else in the country. Starting from the Swagat, where rose petals were strewn by helicopters and Swagat, welcomed the Jan Chetna Yatra, to every program that happened in clock procession. Narendra Modi's stamp of efficiency could be seen everywhere. When I spoke to somebody who had worked with Narendra Modi's team, they said, Narendra Modi represents and respects merit. He respects talent. The moment he sees that this man has a specific talent or a skill, Narendra Modi makes the best use of it. I just thought, like how Narendra Modi respects merit, the Congress party can never represent and respect merit. For the only reason that meritocracy and dynasty cannot go hand in hand. Go and talk to any young person in this country and they tell you what the country needs to respect today is respect merit. But when you have at the very top somebody who does not respect merit, how can you expect the country, how can you expect every institution in the country to respect merit? Friends, I was just thinking, this Godhra issue and this Modi baiting is going forever. What could possibly Narendra Modi do? I stay in an area called Jayanagar in Bangalore. And Jayanagar has roughly a population of about, the Jayanagar ward has a voter population of about 30 to 40,000. Voter turnout naturally is about 25,000. And the Jayanagar police station has a strength of about 15 people, including a station house officer. If tomorrow, for any reason, the entire Jayanagar population erupts into violence, what can the local MLA do? Other than asking for troops reinforcement from other constituencies, other police establishments? Narendra Modi did everything that he could. Let us go out and tell people. On the 27th of August, on the 27th of February in the morning, the Godhra train carnage took place. On the very same day, curfew was imposed. The police were deployed in all possible areas of violence. Immediately, letters were faxed to the NDA government, asking for assistance for army. All of them were deployed. Curfew was taken place. Orders were issued. Modi kept coming on TV. Modi kept giving press releases, asking and pleading with people for peace. The only thing Narendra Modi didn't do that day was to take an AK-47 himself and go on the street and fight. Apart from that, he took every other measure that was possible as an able administrator to ensure that the riots would not take place. Let me tell all of you a very interesting fact that not many of us know because the media has cleverly kept it silent. On the 28th of February, Narendra Modi writes letters to neighboring states. He wrote a letter to the Chief Minister of the government of Madhya Pradesh, the government of Rajasthan and the government of Maharashtra, asking for additional police forces. That was on the 28th of February, just a day after the riots took place. The Madhya Pradesh government, headed by the greatest secularist of modern India, Digvijay Singh. Friends, the Madhya Pradesh government takes 13 days to open a letter and send a reply saying, sorry, we cannot give you additional enforcement. Today, you and I have to change the narrative. And this change in narrative has to take place on Twitter, Facebook, mainstream media, every single house. That the man who was responsible for Godhra riots was not Narendra Modi. It was not BJP. It was Digvijay Singh and the Congress party. This is the narrative that we have. Unless this change in narrative happens, unless we go about convincing people who are not in our fold, it is extremely difficult for all of us to dream of a strong India with Narendra Modi as its Prime Minister. Friends, the media is writing every single day that Narendra Modi hates Muslims and Muslims hate Narendra Modi. Perhaps if there is any media establishment in the world which writes something which is completely contrary to the truth and still manages to get read, still manages to survive, that kind of mainstream media is possible only in India. Because I was talking to my friends, practicing Muslims, who go to namaz every day, whom I myself have dropped to namaz on Fridays. In the course of the conversation when we were speaking, he told me that as a young Muslim, he felt very bad and very sad that the media, the politicians and everybody, generalizes the Indian Muslim mentality, saying that no, for Muslims, divisive politics is more important than economic prosperity and development of the country. He said it is a shame that this media is imposing upon the Muslims of this country. In the last general elections in 2012, 31% of Muslims voted for the BJP in Gujarat. Who said Muslims are not voting for BJP? We have to go out and convince our Muslim friends that the only decade in the history of Gujarat where there was no communal riots was only this decade of Narendra Modi. And all those previous years under the Congress government, every single year, periodically you had communal riots. We need to show them and speak to them with facts. We need to tell them, compare the GDP, compare the per capita income of Muslims in Gujarat and Muslims elsewhere. We need to go into the Muslim mohallas, we need to go and talk to them and tell them that you have a choice before you. This is a leader who is poised to take this country forward, who will provide your kids with education, quality education. We need to go out and tell them that here is a leader who will provide your children gainful employment. We will have to tell them before you rest the choice. Either you choose to vote for this leader today who will give you employment, education and food and everything else that you need, and that which you have been deprived of in the 65 years of Congress rule, or leave it by voting for the Congress again, which has taken your support for granted and has been perpetually using you as vote banks, and leave the fate of your children to be cannon fodder for Islamic fundamentalists. Talk to them. They will understand this. I have spoken to Muslim brothers, Muslim sisters everywhere, and they are ready to accept Narendra Modi's idea of development. They are just like us. They want education, they want employment, they want prosperity, they want an aspiration to succeed in life. If you tell them that Narendra Modi will provide all of this, why will they not support? When 31% of the Muslim population in Gujarat can support Narendra Modi. If only 13% of Muslims vote for the BJP this time, vote for Narendra Modi, I can give it to you in writing that Narendra Modi will be the Prime Minister of this country. So we have before us a very clear understanding of what we should do. One, we should consolidate our support. Because elections, my dear friends, like all of you know, is not fought only on Facebook or on Twitter. We need to take it to the streets, we need to take it to the booths. That's where elections, that's where the destiny of this country is going to be decided this time. We need to first consolidate our support. There are hundreds and thousands of people who love Narendra Modi, who love the BJP. We need to make sure that we consolidate them and bring them under one umbrella. This has to be our very first step. The second step, if you speak to any youngster or anybody in particular, they say, we are okay with Narendra Modi, has done good job, but we are not very happy with the idea of voting for the BJP. There might be many reasons. The state unit might have performed badly or any other reason. But tell them that like a principal in the college decides how the functioning of the party will take place anywhere, the head of the party, the head of the institution, the head of the governmental setup, he will make sure everything will be clean. One of my friends was asking me when I was entering, sir, I'm writing something, I want your opinion on this particular question. If somebody asked me, if BJP is going to field an incompetent person for the MP candidate in your constituency, should I still vote for the BJP? Because Narendra Modi will be the Prime Minister.
Yes, yes.
Plain yes is not an answer. I told him, "Arey bhai, why are you even wondering? When Narendra Modi is the campaign chief, do you think he will field incompetent people?" We need to make sure that people will understand why Narendra Modi has to be voted. We need to go and explain all of this to them. So these kind of fence sitters, and the problem in this country, if you look at the history of this country, is that we have a very large population of fence sitters who never make a strong decision at any point in time. We need to tell them that this is the time you have to make a decision. So we need to consolidate and bring the fence sitters to our fold. We also need to win a considerable section of people who are not our sympathizers are present by presenting them hard facts, by presenting them a vision for India. That is possible if we go out and talk to them. We need to gain them our side. Most importantly, what I request all of you from Namo Brigade or for any other association, organization who is actually concerned about the future of this country is to take measures to enroll new voters in our universities and colleges. Friends, this I am telling you out of my own experience, because Arise India in the previous general elections also ensured a large voter registration drive. My friends did it. This time we did it. The reason was, especially if you go and talk to people in colleges and universities, a lot of young people are the biggest supporters of Modi. They want to go out and vote for Modi. They are the ones who have liked his page. They are the ones who are religiously following him on Twitter. But we need to make sure that they have valid voter ID cards and go out on the polling day and vote. We need to go into colleges, we need to go into universities and conduct mass registration drives. If the principal of the institution or the head of the institution is not okay with Namo Brigade per se going into college and enrolling voters, we will go in some other name. We will enroll them. We will have a database of them. We will ask them to give missed call to this. Take it from me, if you go into a college without any banner or without declaring that you are a specific organization and still ensure that young people will get registered, 9 out of the 10 who will go out and vote, even if you go and tell them or don't tell them, will vote for Narendra Modi. We need to make sure this. The other challenge that is there before you and me, all of us here, is to take this message of Modi, the message of development, the message of One India, to places where, in the geographical quality of the country, where the message of Modi has not reached and see. Let us take Narendra Modi's message to the rural hinterlands. We will go and talk to people in the villages, young people in the villages, and tell them that Narendra Modi's model of development is what will give you and I a better future. This is what we need to do. Go to the rural areas and start consolidating. Lastly, what you and I should do is to ensure that there will be a high voter turnout on the day of elections. For years together, my dear friends, all of you, all of us, have blamed, have been complaining, most of us have even went to the Anna Hazare campaign thinking that there will be a big change. Here you have somebody who will give you change. And that change is possible in a democracy only if you and I go out and vote. On the day the constitution of this country was adopted, B.R. Ambedkar made a historic speech where he said that the country's population, irrespective of whether the people are educated or not, we are adopting as a very brave measure the concept of universal adult franchise. Many skeptically said that this will not work in a country like India. But we have proved them wrong. In 1975, when the emergency was imposed and dictatorship was on the horizon, was looming large in the country, horizon, the people of this country, the very same illiterate rural masses, made sure that Indira Gandhi lost the election. The very same people, my dear friends, in the very last elections in Karnataka, made sure that all nutcase politicians lost. And people who seriously meant business in politics, who really cared, won. Not definitely the incumbents now. So we need to reinforce this faith in the people. Many political analysts said that the people of Tamil Nadu will not understand the complexities involved in a 2G scam, so they might vote DMK back to power again. The people of Tamil Nadu proved them wrong. The people of our country, the masses, the voters, the electors, they know for very sure that whom to vote and whom not to vote. All that they need is the right message from the right people. You and I should go and talk to them and make this effort and try on the polling day that there will be maximum number of the highest percentage of polling, so that we will see Narendra Modi as the Prime Minister of India. Dear friends, somebody was asking me some time earlier, will it be easy for Modi this time? अरे यार allies भी नहीं है, सब छोड़ दिया है, what to do? Told him, allies are like crutches. You will still have to depend on them and run. Can somebody who is walking with the help of a crutch, with help of crutches, ever compete with somebody who is running fast? This is the very fact that some people who are a liability to the party have left, has given us an opportunity in the disguise of a problem to build the party stronger there, to take the message of Modi there, and make sure that we will come to power on by our own. That is when we will be able to do it. Whether this party supports you, whether that party supports us, that is going to be immaterial for us as of now. What is going to be material for as of now, what is going to be of utmost priority as of now, is to convert as many people into our side. That is our challenge. Also, somebody very interestingly asked me, I'm sure all of you are following these debates that take place in TV every single day. Narendra Modi has just declared the campaign chief of the party. When will he be ever declared as the prime ministerial candidate of the party? You people are very scared to risk this gamble. I told him, the dear friend, if you ever have read the Hitopadesha, there's a very interesting Subhashita. They said, Na abhisheko, na samskaro, simhasya kriyate mrugaihi, vikramarjita vittasya, swayameva mrugendrata. It means the lion is not appointed as the king of the animals, the king of beasts, the king of the jungle, not by other lesser animals, but the lion is self-appointed as the leader of the animals on the basis of its own strength. These are tactics that might deflect us from our vision of seeing Narendra Modi as the Prime Minister, seeing the BJP come back to power, and also ensuring a strong and vibrant India in the process. Also seriously, I have a very small request to make with my friends from the Namo Brigade. Somebody very senior in the BJP, somebody very senior in our circles had the apprehension that Narendra Modi is, these initiatives like Namo Brigade, Narendra Modi Army, might start a new cult of personality worshipping politics, which is very dangerous, which is something that Dr. B.R. Ambedkar had warned of on the day that the constitution of this country was adopted in the Constituent Assembly. Personality-based politics, we have seen, my dear friends, have taken this country to disastrous. Chanakya groomed Chandragupta to be the emperor of India. The Sangh Parivar, the organization, this ideology of seeing a vibrant and India-first country, this groomed Narendra Modi. and not the other way around. We should tell all of them who are skeptical about all these ventures that we are very proud of the very fact that the Sangh Parivar was capable of providing a leader like Narendra Modi to this country. That is what we stand by. Friends, finally I would like to conclude by telling all of you that before us lies a challenge that you and I together have to surmount. Like P.P. Hegde was rightly telling earlier, that each time the country is pushed into adharma, we see an incarnation. We see somebody who comes as the savior. So what is adharma in the 21st century? Adharma in the 21st century is keeping millions and millions of people of our country in poverty. Adharma in the 21st century is keeping millions of our countrymen as ignorance, keeping many of our people in darkness, despite having all that one can have to change this for the better. That is adharma. Adharma is dividing people on the basis of caste, dividing people on the basis of religion. That is adharma. In the 21st century polity, adharma means not doing what you are elected to do, not fulfilling the aspirations of the electorate. That is adharma. And the Gita has given us a very big message. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkrutam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Shri Krishna had himself said, if at any point in time dharma is threatened and the adharmic forces gain strength, I will incarnate and I will come to protect dharma. From there we will drive inspiration. From there we will resolve that you and I, we are the inspirations, we are the incarnations of Shri Krishna to go and establish a dharmic establishment again in this country, an establishment which will care for the people of this country. I was just thinking, I had read a very interesting op-ed very recently, which said that Narendra Modi is a very personality-based leader. Narendra Modi's fans are very personality-based followers. And what will be the legacy of Modi? I wanted to write a reply back. What is the legacy of the Congress party? The legacy of Sonia Gandhi is to produce one Rahul Gandhi. Look at the legacy of Narendra Modi. It is right before me. Hundreds and thousands of Bharatiya citizens. This is the legacy of Narendra Modi. Like P.P. Hegde was rightly telling, this is the war. Winston Churchill had very nicely said that politics is a bloodless war. But what do I mean by this war? How do we fight this successfully? By strength and resolve and commitment in our endeavor. That is what matters. Before us, sometime in history, Parashurama had very aptly said, Agratas chaturo vedaha, prushtatam sasharam dhanuhu, idam brahmam idam kshatram shastradapi sharadati. It meant the power of an Indian is such that he can tackle any problem in the world because before him he has the intellectual capability provided by the strength of the Vedas, and on his back he has a quiver full of arrows. Come before me and challenge. If you want to engage with me in an intellectual battle, I have the power of the intellect to win over you. If you want to fight with me, if you want to engage with me in a physical duel or a battle with arms and ammunition, I have the power of arrows and I can defeat you even then. This was the strength of confidence that the Indian thinkers have always given us. 2014, my dear friends, we are going there with the power of truth. We are going with the power of our intellect. We are also going with the resolve in our hearts to see a vibrant India, a strong India, an India which you and I can be truly proud of. An India which I and you, all of us, will tell our posterity, hey, you guys have to take this to greater heights. There is no looking back. We have already gone into this war. It's time that we all consolidate our strength and make sure that we achieve this dream of seeing a strong, vibrant and successful India. Hoping that all of you go out of this room energized as those soldiers who go out to sacrifice their all in the battlefield. We will go. Whatever little time that we can give, weekdays or weekends, mornings or evenings, we will go and try to achieve this dream. People like Bhagat Singh, Chandrasekhar Azad, all of these revolutionaries, young, just like all of us, they were very fortunate to live, to go and die for the country. You and I are not that very fortunate. You and I cannot die for this country, but you and I can live for this country, and that we will do by ensuring that we will make a strong and leader quality. Thank you so much for listening to me.
Young, energetic and frankly speaking, Tejasvi Surya ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತೊಂದ್ಸತಿ ನಾವು ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನ ಹೇಳೋಣ. ಅಡ್ವೈಸರ್ ಆದಂತಹ ನಮ್ಮ ಶಕುಂತಲಾ ಅಯ್ಯರ್ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ವೇದಿಕೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಬರ್ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಹಾಗೆ ಅವರು ಒಂದೆರಡು ಮಾತು